School gives you a lesson and then tests you. But life gives you a test which teaches you a lesson. A $20,000 prize. 5 teams left, competing against each other in front of a panel of judges that enables them to go on and solve real-world problems and create real businesses.
There's these Superfund sites, they're called, where big corporations are dumping chemicals into the land, contaminating the land.
In the greater Los Angeles area, San Gabriel Valley and the San Bernardino Valley, the pollution from these sites is actually contaminate the groundwater.
There's even a Superfund right down the road from my house. I'm one of those 1 in 4 Americans that live within a Superfund area.
We are basically using nature's natural ability to absorb toxins from the soil.
In some ways, it's very simple. We're using mushrooms to take up contaminants. You want to plant these mushrooms so they can absorb these contaminants and break them down into potentially less harmful things.
Our second part of the solution is basically taking these tops of the mushrooms and putting them into concrete.
We're going to sustainably make construction materials by displacing what would be more intensive carbon emission concrete with the mushrooms.
There's over 2.3 billion people that do not have access to clean cooking gas. They're using firewood, coal, or propane tanks to cook, which is linked to more than 3 million deaths on a yearly basis from indoor air pollution, even accidents, fire accidents that people have.
In eastern Ukraine, 7 million people lack access to gas and infrastructure because of a war. We come here to the US where we live. 30 million people don't have access to gas line infrastructure.
And it's just a little upsetting that this is still such an issue in 2024, especially in a country like the US.
And ultimately, we want to help these people not run into that issue and also have a reliable form of energy. The end goal is to create clean cooking gas with this product. Once the food waste goes in, the user inputs like a little biocapsule that we make, and that biocapsule has bacteria. Bacteria breaks everything down, release the methane and other gases, and then it's stored in a different compartment so that eventually it can be used on a stove.
We need to solve the water problem, especially like here in Los Angeles or in other places like Texas or maybe Singapore or Middle East.
Currently, over 2 billion people suffer from water scarcity. Some people come up with some solutions to address this challenge, like seawater desalination and wastewater reuse.
To do that, they're using a lot of membranes to do the water cleaning.
Membrane monitoring is kind of a black box. People do not know what things happen during the operation.
We are trying to do innovation and to provide a smart way to monitoring the membrane performance. Basically, we're using fabricate something like this, a prototype. It's like a life health monitor for the membranes, and it will collect the data, doing analysis, and send it to the engineer. By doing this, we will make them more efficient and more cost-friendly, and to bring more safer water to the public.
Our project is to create an insert into the toilet tank to redirect the water flow inside the toilet tank to increase the flow velocity in order to reduce the amount of water needed for flushing. So this is our initial prototype, and as the water runs through the toilet tank, since the channel is getting smaller and smaller, the water speed will increase, and ultimately we want to create a stronger flush.
ACEs, which are adverse childhood experiences, impact 2 out of 3 people. Neglect, household dysfunction, abuse, parental divorce, things that are awfully common for people in the United States and across the world.
When you're a child in underserved populations, you don't have the time, you don't have the access to your parents because they're always working. They also don't know how to play. To be able to play, you have to be free of worry. You can't play and be stressed about bills.
We are there to fill that gap. We are providing a holistic development for the early childhood development.
Hopeful Havens is an interactive mirror in a playground. A kid can go up to it, they'll see themselves, but there also will be a screen. And you can touch it, interact with it. There's breath, movement, adventure, and around the world. If you're feeling like you have a ton of energy and you need to get your wiggles out, you can press movement and it will walk you through some maybe yoga poses or jumping jacks. Maybe they're choosing around the world because they want to know how people are
choosing to be mindful in Tokyo and what the practices are like over there?
I see kids never having to be alone. You know, I grew a lot during the pandemic, and it was a sad time though, because even with all of my efforts, my child did suffer from depression. Again, he is the biggest, brightest joy in my life, but without access to his friends, I hope I don't get emotional, hold on. I want more kids to have that confidence in who they are and what they look like, and to be proud of who they are and what they look like. That is true and the true. No one can be more you than you. I believe that's Dr. Seuss.
Very excited the DOS competition is in its second year now. The whole purpose of it was to try to introduce entrepreneurship into young students at a relatively early stage.
Competition makes it real, right? There are no homeworks and you do it from passion.
The funding for the first time in generations exists, and the technology is so accessible.
The DOS competition and Innovate LA has offered us so many resources. We're so lucky to be part of this.
I've never been in a setting to where engineering meets entrepreneurialism.
It's helping us to connect to the research to the real world.
To succeed in the real world is not just about engineering, but also your pitching skills and also your business idea. And that's the biggest takeaway from this competition.
Just not getting the $20,000 isn't the end of the line. This project isn't going to die in the hands of not receiving that $20,000.
Is winning the last prize or the final prize, or is winning being part of the journey? I don't know. I think journey matters more than the final prize.